What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. We are now on part 9 of our Better Than Napoleon campaign, and so far we have done quite well, even taking over London itself. Right now we are on our conquest of the Rusilian territory here in Aragon, and I believe right now we are sieging down their capital, but I'm not too sure. Looks like we have already taken Valencia, which was their capital. We had a soldier on top of Valencia last game, so, you know, we couldn't necessarily see the crown. We now have the opportunity to make Nantes a state from a territory, so now we are reducing its autonomy once again, and now making it a core. Now, it looks like the nobility believe that they need more, a percentage of our land. Fortunately, we are going to be taking a ducat hit. Let's give Nantes to the bourgeoisie because they have an estuary. This will improve our trade power. And we need to find another territory that we could essentially give to the nobility. And I believe we are going to give them Cahors to the nobility, bringing them up to a 16.6% land percentage. And now our goal is, we are losing money. We don't want to lose that much money. So let's go ahead and mothball our forts, and hopefully that could turn things around. Not necessarily to where we wanted it to be, but it is improving the situation. And of course, I wouldn't mind ending the war a little bit early, so that way we could change our faith here to Protestantism. And looks like we have annihilated the enemy force. And no need to pay all of this attrition. Let's see if they would be willing to give us our war goal and the Baleares and possibly another territory as well. This will give us quite a bit of aggressive expansion. How about these? Genoa, Brittany, Burgundy, and England. Let's improve our relationship with Genoa here. Ooh, I think I would really like to have Malta, if anything. Very, very tiny island, but it will be able to create a sailing port here for the rest of our ships. And of course, we could also attempt to break away Naples, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to do that just yet. Now, what exactly do we need? We are going to cancel our diplomat here, bring him back to our base, or at least to our capital. We are going to need 16 more, I guess, of a positive reason. We are going to see England not like us, which is fine. Burgundy is very weak, and Brittany is very weak as well. I think we'll be fine with this expansion. It will give us a lot more trade power here in the Genoa trade node. Slowly improving our relationship with Genoa. Might as well try to improve our relationship with Brittany, even though we are going to conquer them very soon. Burgundy already hates us, but we could improve the relationship again. Obviously, the Papal States need to be improved as much as possible. Let's take a look at our technology map mode. We are still unable to embrace colonialism. Our ports are blockaded. And we are going to see, unfortunately, we still are unable to conquer what we want. We could bring over this Simon Doosan here, which has our artillery. If we can hopefully take over some additional provinces, I'm sure we might be able to peace out of this war very early. It would take 69 war score here to break the personal union over Naples, which could prove very beneficial as well. The last thing we would want would be for, you know, Aragon to integrate or annex all of Naples. Alright, I really want to switch to Protestantism. And unfortunately, looks like we did wait a little too long because we were in our war. I'm not sure if it will even be worth it switching to Protestantism. Prussia could be, or excuse me, Brandenburg could prove to be a very valuable ally. But unfortunately, we are going to want Berlin sometime in the game, so that would mean backstabbing them. I believe Castile is still Catholic, so it might be in our best interest to stay Catholic. How are we looking here? We will go ahead and take these territories, giving us 48 aggressive expansion. And I believe all of these will be mine. That's what I like to see. Most of the French borders here are painting all of Europe into a nice French blue. We are going to go ahead and cancel or destroy this castle. Let's start converting all of these provinces into cores here. And we do have some diplomatic power. We could go ahead and start annexing Nevers, and I think we'll do that. We do have some extra diplomatic power we could spend. And if we head over to technology, we are still ahead of time for some of these as well. Looks like we are now producing copper here in Sardinia. That could be very, very useful in the long run. Let's go ahead, mothball all of our forts. We certainly don't need to be paying this upkeep. And of course, not paying this, this atrocious army maintenance as well. We will bring our 10 light ships back to the English Channel, continue protecting our trade node. Alright, now who all hates us? Aragon hates us quite a bit. And a lot of these countries hate us as well. But if we begin to start taking over some territory here in England, I believe Scotland and Holland. Ooh, Scotland has now allied England. That is new. And, of course, we would like to take over Provence as well. Not sure how soon that will happen. Let's move the rest of our navy back to Normandy. Looks like the Holy Roman Empire has enacted another imperial reform. And we have the ability to invest in new technology. I don't think I'm going to do that though, because if I save my money for if I save all of my diplomatic power here, I could essentially invest in either a military technology or a diplomatic technology. So if I have a lot of excess diplomatic power, instead of using it on development, I could go ahead and try to get something such as trade or even influence. You know, to go ahead and start shaping the empire into what I would like it to be. Now, of course, if we got trade, we would get 3 additional merchants. Being able to collect trade here would be very, very beneficial for the long run. We are funneling up 76% of this trade power into our Champagne trade node and then transporting it again up into the English Channel. I think we will go ahead and we will get trade ideas, because that is going to give us a huge abundance of money, and obviously with more money, meaning we can fund more wars, more conquests, and even with more money, we can improve our economy even further. So all around, it is a very good idea to have. And of course, with more money means better advisors. We could improve this advisor to probably a +3, but we'll wait some time. I absolutely hate King Henry II. I hope he dies. And in order for me to do that, we have a 11 versus a 6. Let's go ahead and recruit the king himself into one of our armies here. He's actually not a bad general, which is very surprising. Looks like we have finally improved our relationships with Genoa. We will continue fabricating claims on England. We'll improve our relationship with Provence. And if it's possible, we will go ahead and demand administrative power. But we can't do that until the year 1510. So it looks like we are going to have to spend some of our diplomatic power here. We know that these territories aren't ever going to get taken. But let's go ahead and improve Nantes. The production of salt will be very beneficial. Let's improve it a little bit more. And we might as well build a church. No, we're not. We're going to build more workshops to improve our production. That way, the more production we have going, it will shift more of our trade up into the English Channel. We are looking for silk provinces. Not silk, cloth provinces. And we have one here in Maine. Let's go ahead and build a workshop. And we are waiting for the -5 modifier. Now, how is the Papal States conquest of Naples going? Looks like it is going quite well, and we have Catholic zealots here inside Sicily. And I am quite curious. We did take quite a bit of land from England. Now, I'm not sure how strong the Navy will be with Scotland and England combined. We might need to save up some of our funds. And in order to do that, we will decrease our army maintenance. Let's go for a completely decreased army maintenance. And unfortunately, we are getting such a low amount of money, it will take some time. We could also ask for a contribution from the bourgeoisie, giving us some additional income. Our corruption is growing. We don't need any generals. We don't need any additional levies. Having an inquisitor could be nice in time, but we won't do that just yet. We'll leave all of our estates the way they are for now. But for certain, our next war goal is most likely going to be England itself, and the goal obviously is to try to not have somebody hate us so much. You know, we have -79 aggressive expansion, and we could like, you know, countries like the Papal States, we'd like that to go down over time. So we should have very close to 100. Let's improve the relationship with the Papal States once again. And we are improving our economy, improving our trade. What we're doing now is essentially waiting to get enough administrative power to unlock the Renaissance thought. We could unlock Carracks and Caravel. I will certainly do that. And of course, we now have professional officers. And now my goal is to... well, I was going to set a focus for diplomatic technology, but of course it looks like we've already been doing that. We'll upgrade to our professional officers now. We will most likely get the reformed Galilee infantry. Our heir will die. No, we wanted our heir. That is very, very unfortunate. We could either build a church or get a noble with a weak claim. We will certainly get a church. And now we have an even worse heir. Where's Armagnac? I believe it's down here somewhere. We got a free church, so 95 gold. I am very, very disappointed with our heir here. And he is age 0. Now, if we go to the diplomatic map mode, you can see that we have a variety of claims. After my next claim, I might go ahead and declare war. It's practically useless to have this much manpower. But of course, I do have some provinces that could uprise very soon. We get centralized state, negative corruption, and negative monthly autonomy. And we have now unlocked Renaissance Thought. And we will most likely be unlocking our trade ideas next. We can now get a royal marriage from Castile. And of course, we now have our ideas as well. Countries wish to hire condottieri. I will decline that. And we do have quite a bit of money to obviously invest in our new technology or institutions here. But of course, I don't believe anybody in the world has unlocked colonialism. I don't believe any territory here has done Quest for the New World. Maybe Portugal has. I guess we could find out by hovering over their... Here we go. Exploration and expansion. If you hover over the countries' names, it will tell you all of their ideas they've pursued. Let's go ahead and get some additional cores. And this will take quite a bit of administrative power. We will continue to fabricate claims on Hampshire. And very soon we are going to conquer Nevers. Now, it might be easier, because I lack so much administrative power, it might be easier to just outright annex Brittany. Of course, this would upset other countries. Not too sure what I'm going to do. You know, obviously I would win the war against England, but I'm not sure what my goal would be. If I, had all this land, I wouldn't be able to have the administrative power to essentially conquer it. So, not too sure what I'll do just yet. We're going to have an abundance of administrative power over time, but unfortunately we don't have it for the time being. I'd really like to have Flanders. I want Brittany and Flanders. I think we'll go after Brittany. They are already in a war. Let's bring our army maintenance to the top. and see what we can do. Now, we're only going to need about 16,000 troops here on the Brittany border. We will go ahead, activate all of our forts. I don't believe they're going to have much of a navy, so we won't worry about them. And as soon as I declare war, obviously Brittany is going to be annexed, so we want other countries to like us. How about Kildare will improve their relationship? Obviously Castile needs to be improved all the way topped off to 100. We will cancel this diplomat here inside of England. And in just a second, we are going to try everything we can to take over, you know, this territory. It looks like I have found Savoy here, or Savoy. As soon as he leaves, I will rush in. And we are going to take over Finisterre. And bring the rest of our troops in. Let's all meet up in Charolais. And it looks like they are going to be heading to their capital. We'll wipe them off of the map. And of course, we now have the ability to add another corps here in Gironde. We have finally finished our very first mission of the game. We can annex Genoa, but that would take a little too long. Return Brittany to its proper allegiance. What would we have to do? Is a vassal of France. That is obviously our goal here. Let's take out these troops, and unfortunately, we don't have military access for some reason, which is very odd. Let's ask for access. And then, of course, take out these troops. Looks like Savoy is still going to be trying to conquer down Finisterre, which is our war goal. Alright, countries that have not fully embraced colonialism will eventually get penalized. And now Savoy will be getting its territory back over time. We have the ability to finally get the Baliers here. And with all of this excess administrative power, we might be able to take over an additional territory, but of course that would be quite dangerous. Let's improve the relationship. The Papal States should be popped up all the way. Aragon doesn't matter. Portugal doesn't matter. Scotland probably matters, but they are our ally. Let's improve the relationship of Flanders. Even though we will take them over in time. How close are we to 190? We are quite far away. Might start sieging Burwoy. Or Buwa. And of course, we are going to turn this territory into a state. And of course, getting a core over time. And it looks like we've unlocked our very first trade idea. Global trade power plus 20%. So if we hover over our trade, I believe before we were only getting like 6.6 ducats per month. And now, of course, it is much higher. We have, looks like a greatly accomplished diplomat, well known for his efforts in establishing our nation as a major diplomatic force. We could get administrative power and diplomatic power, or prestige and diplomatic power. we will certainly take the administrative and diplomatic powers. Looks like that 20% did finally kick in, bringing us up to 8.83. And the siege of Finisterre is now complete. I am going to leave one unit of 8,000 men there. We'll take this next one over to Namur. Start sieging down that province as well. And it looks like we are in a battle. We're going to have to build another light ship. 15 wouldn't hurt. Accidentally had a misclick. Looks like there will be an English separatist movement here in London. So we're going to have to do everything in our power to prevent that from happening. That is going to be our #1 goal. We have taken over Burgundy's capital. Gonna move 8,000 men into London and bring these ships over here. Let's give them a leader. Now, if we hover over aggressive expansion, there are quite a lot of countries that believe we have overextended past what we should have. And, you know, obviously, it's because I have. We'll see what, you know, areas we could take from Burgundy. I wouldn't mind having some of this territory. And I would like to know how much it would cost to embrace colonialism, and unfortunately it looks like none of our provinces here have even attempted to embrace colonialism. It's most likely because we're at war or we don't have enough development or anything like that. I'll check the modifiers here in a second. Improved our relationship with Castile and Sanders. Let's bring our Carracks out into the fray. Maybe even the 16 boats as well. We could give support to the merchants, but really we don't need any money, so let's save our diplomatic power. Let's hover over Burgundy for right now. What nations can we release? Quite a few. I think I would like to take over one for myself. We could return a corps to Provence, but of course that would bring quite a lot of aggressive expansion, which is a price I'm willing to take. And in one more turn, we'll be able to get some additional funding as well. And once we reach the 1st of October, we'll go ahead and we'll try that once again. Here we are. Go to Burgundy, get as much money as we can. It looks like we have a positive 3. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. All right, who all hates us? Probably a lot of people. And that is fine. Very soon we will be taking over all of Brittany. Okay, so we need to improve our relationship with Venice, Cleves, and Aachen. Venice doesn't really matter. Where's Cleves? Let's skip Venice. We want Cleves, Aachen, and Brabant. Liege doesn't necessarily matter either. Brabant, very, very bad. Where is Cleves? Here's Aachen. They don't necessarily matter either, but let's keep them positive. And Cleves. Here we are. 0 for now. Let's improve our relationship. And we're about to have 3 new territories. And very soon, this province will go down. We have a very soon rebel uprising here in the English Channel. Might as well bring 10,000 troops over to Picardy, or better yet, let's bring 8,000 troops to Picardy, and of course get one of our 8 cogs. This siege has been going on for 222 days. We will soon have another uprising in Catalonia down here in the south. We're going to want to end this war very, very soon. Now, we only need 9, but unfortunately, we have an 8 stack and a 4 stack. So we'll keep the 12,000 men there for now. It would be very, very detrimental if we had an uprising in the Baleares or any type of island. I am going to be increasing my autonomy here in the Baleares. But of course, I will. There are 2 different landing spots here in the in Sardinia, so we won't worry about them for now. Looks like we did improve our relationship with Brabant all the way. They aren't going to like us at all after this takeover. Let's improve our relationship with Liege. And of course, everybody who hates us won't necessarily matter over time. We do have quite a formidable force, and we are getting more and more money every single day. Castile now leads a personal union with Aragon and Naples, so looks like we did take these islands at a very opportune time. We can now invest in new technology, such as a courthouse, which will give us 5 new states, and of course, the courthouse itself. This will reduce our monthly autonomy and our state maintenance. All we're doing is we're waiting for this 42% to finally fall over, but it looks like it's not going to be happening anytime soon. Maybe next tick. Venice is getting absolutely stomped by Hungary, Austria. Who are their allies? Doesn't look like they have any allies, unfortunately. And I believe the war will be over by the 1st of January. And I'm not going to send any treaties, even though we have already ended the war. We're going to wait until the 1st of January. That way our aggressive expansion goes down just a tiny bit more. And of course, makes other nations hate us a little less likely. We are going to want our diplomat back from Aachen. And let's go ahead and end the war. Take over our prize. It would be really nice to take over... Oh, are you serious right now? There we go. Negative 58. Obviously, Switzerland would not like us. Austria, this is not a bet I'm willing to take. So let's do a vassalization here. Burgundy, Brittany, England, and the Papal States are the only ones who would hate us. That is something I am willing to bet on. And of course, we could end our... No. Let's go ahead and just outright vassalize Brittany and get our war goal completed. And of course, we will complete our mission as well. And if we wait a second, we have returned Brittany to its proper allegiance. We are getting some additional manpower recovery speed and, of course, some additional yearly prestige as well. Let's select our new mission. We could incorporate Provence into our country, improve relations, or annex Genoa. We are going to go ahead and improve relations with... Let's incorporate Provence into our country. And I am going to go ahead and end the episode here. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.